field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Detroit Lions. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. A man who played collegiately over at East Lansing. Here's Ken Walker. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. From the gun, it's Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A gain of 7 yards, and it's 3rd down.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try for the first with Walker. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jack Campbell with a pick. And the Lions are going to take over here up near the 40.
Intercepted. The Lions take over first.
After the interception, here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now a 2nd and 6. Goff now looks to throw. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get that complete to the rookie from Arkansas. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they've rallied and made the tackle.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Mahomes to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
And that is incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Play action. It's Goff. Complete to right. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down at 7. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Goff. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. Goff. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
That one let go deep for Laporta. And he's got it inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
That stop made by Jack Campbell.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Throw out wide to Walker. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Mahomes going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Well, with the problems they've had giving away the football in this first half, they've got to be over the moon that this is still a tie ball game. So here's where a quarterback has to move the turnovers to the back of his mind and focus on the present. And that's a good throw there to pick up a 1st down.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it 2nd down and 12. To throw, it's Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. 12 yards there as they move the chains. So that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Mahomes. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. Over the middle here to Brown. And he will have a Chiefs first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Now it's Mahomes again. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Kirby Joseph just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelce, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they'd love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And Detroit back in possession of the football. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. Looking to put a drive together. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
It's second and inches at the 47-yard line.
A toss out right to Gibbs. Powerful running. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
A gain of 4 yards.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Going back to Gibbs on first down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Out of the gun, Goff. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Off play action. Here's Goff. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards, and that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. To the left side, he finds Slaw. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Goff now looks to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
4th down to give to Gibbs. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the ball's going to be going back to the Chiefs. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time, but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Here's 3rd and a few inches. From the 50, it's Goff. That is caught. And he is going to have a Lions first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
And a
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Goff now looking to throw. Throws out left. It's caught by Williams. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll give him 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. A shotgun snap for Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Quick toss by Goff is complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now it's Goff. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
A loss of 5.
And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Gibbs straight ahead. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Goff going to keep it himself. And he is going to have a Lions first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. He's airing it out for Williams. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 63 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
We put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. At their own 27. Off the play fake, he'll set up to throw it. He's got right on the short throw. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Here's Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Goff now to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Goff. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
They'll run here with Pacheco. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Gone. This will be caught at about the 6. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Goff. And in for the Lions touchdown. Sam Laporta, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Well, Charles, I think you and I both agree these guys were outplayed in that first half, and the scoreboard reflected that, but they've come out since halftime. They've looked like a different team.
And it makes you wonder what was said and done in that locker room, because they've made some nice adjustments and they're executing better. I think they got some fiery guys on that sideline that had a few things to say at the half, and now they've come out with a vengeance.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now here's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 25-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3. Mahomes now to throw. Down inside the 10. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Butker's kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Lions now. They really struggled in the first half, but they've made some adjustments looking better in the second half. But sometimes do we overanalyze? Is it always adjustments, or sometimes is it guys just sticking better to the game plan?
I think the latter, and I love how you brought that up because we always want to credit, oh, they adjusted here and they made this change there. Sometimes it's just executing what they worked on in practice all week much better. In this case, I think it's a combination. They found a different part of their playbook, and it's working really well for them.
Working extremely well at this point. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Back to throw, Goff. Throw left side, complete. That's Williams. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Gibbs will try and pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Room here to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Now Mahomes finds his man. It's Kelsey on the crossing route here. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a draw play. It's Walker. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice, 31 yards. And the Chiefs have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Detroit's offense ready to take over. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This play started with the protection, and you have to have it to give your quarterback time to let routes develop downfield, and then it's on him to locate an open man, and he does just that. Play callers love 4 vertical routes because receivers can be open at any time downfield, often for big gains.
Walker trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Walker once more. And this time he will score. Touchdown, KC. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Lions 14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So out now come the Lions. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 23. And they'll send the tight end in motion. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And running with power here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 61 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Goff now looking to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Here's Goff. Throw over the middle. He finds Williams. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A 6-yard pickup.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Goff. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 12-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Tommy Kennedy from 21 yards away. And the Lions have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
City Chiefs, first down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 34. On the counter, it's Walker. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Brings up second and 8.
Now second and 8 at the 32-yard line. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes going to throw. Throw out wide to Walker. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
45-yard attempt.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here's Goff and the Lions. Down 27-21. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. They're out of timeouts. Now they will have the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Plenty of time to work with here, but the timeouts, they're gone. Here's 1st and 10. That's complete right side. It's to Slaw.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Goff. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
By the Chiefs.
Picked off by Christian Fulton.
At the 46-yard line.
And they take a knee. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Detroit.